Captures the dribble. Free to shoot. Banks it in! A three-pointer for Trae Young! You are a cheat code, young man.
So, Atlanta Hawks, Kiran. Let's talk about them first. What do you think of their signings?
So I think that they made some really good signings, and I guess really good offseason acquisitions in general. Including trades and their draft picks. But bringing in Danilo Gallinari, Chris Dunn, Bogdanovich, trading for Tony Snell, they made some great moves, and obviously the guys they lost in free agency, including Jeff Teague and DeAndre Bembry, they aren't too significant. But in general, I like the moves they made. I think they're going to be a better team next year. And yeah, what are your thoughts?
I think they had a perfect offseason, in my opinion, because their team, Trae Young said in the middle of the season that he wants to win. They need to make some moves. And obviously, they've made some great moves. They lost some okay players in Kilambi or Jeff Teague and Vince Carter. And as you mentioned, DeAndre Bembry. But, compared to the players they brought in, like Bogdanovich and Solomon Hill, Rondo, Dunn, Gallinari, those guys are going to be shooters. Those guys are going to help Trae Young improve certain aspect of his game, teach him a bit. And, Young has a lot of assists with those group of guys that, weren't really scorers. Just imagine him assisting Gallinari and Bogdanovich. They can be like a Golden State Warriors junior in a certain way, since their GM was also the assistant GM at the Warriors. So I expect them to be really good this season, and I expect them to make the playoffs. I wouldn't be surprised if they're in the lower half. They miss out on the play-in games, but they should make the playoffs.
Yeah, I think they're going to make the playoffs also. I don't know if they'll be able to win a series. Probably not, but I think that they'll definitely make the playoffs too.
Also you mentioned Tony Snell. I also like the addition of him, and they also got their young guys like Cam Reddish, Kevin Porter,
DeAndre Hunter.
Yeah, and Clint. They still have Clint Capella, and John Collins. This team is deep.
It's very solid.
And they also drafted Onyeka Okongwu, your boy.
Yes, sir.
And former teammate of LaMelo Ball. So, this team, I don't know who the starting lineup is going to be, but it's deep.
Yeah, they're going to be really solid. They're going to give some teams some trouble this year.
Where do you think they're going to be in the playoff picture?
I think they're going to be maybe, a 7 seed around there, maybe 8th, maybe 6th, who knows? But I think they will be in the lower half of the Eastern Conference playoff picture. So how about you?
I agree with you. Maybe they could go higher because their team had a bit more rest. And the other teams are benching some of their guys due to the short off season. But I agree with you. I think the expectation for them is a playoff finish.
Yeah.
And what would you grade them?
I'd probably grade it an A. I like the moves a lot. They didn't really trade for a legitimate star, but they brought in players who are, like Bogdanovich is a borderline all-star. Maybe that may be a reach, but, he can play at a high level along with Trae Young, and I think they brought in some great players, and I don't dislike anything that they did. They got Rondo too. I don't know if we mentioned Rondo, but, having his veteran presence is good, so, yeah, I like their moves. I give it an A.
And I agree with you. I'll give them an A too. I think an A is worthy. It's almost an A plus, but it will be an A plus if they, make a high finish in the Eastern Conference, or if they're like, as you said, a 6 seed team.
Yeah, I think Trae Young's gonna be happy with the moves they made. So
yeah, for sure, and he's gonna learn a lot under Rajon Rondo.